Motivation is the biggest lie you've ever believed. Like a match that burns out too quickly, it deceives you with a momentary spark. Want to know why? Think about the moments when you felt most motivated. Perhaps after watching an inspiring video or listening to a powerful song. For an instant, it felt like you could conquer the world. But what happened next? That energy quickly faded, leaving you right where you started. Motivation is like a match. It ignites quickly but burns out just as fast. And this isn't your fault. We live in an era that glorifies motivation as the key to success. We're bombarded with messages like, believe in yourself, and everything is possible if you try. However, in reality, this creates a dangerous cycle. When you rely solely on feeling motivated, your productivity depends on something as unstable as the weather. On bad days, when motivation doesn't show up, what's left? Procrastination, frustration, and the feeling that something is wrong with you. The problem isn't in seeking motivation, but in treating it as the main driver of your actions. Think about New Year's resolutions or the excitement after an event like the Super Bowl. For a moment, everything feels possible, but soon the initial energy disappears. The truth is, motivation should be a byproduct, not the starting point. Imagine what your life would look like if you didn't have to wait to feel inspired to take action. If instead, you could operate within a system that worked even on your worst days. Liberating, isn't it? That's exactly what's missing in the modern productivity equation. What truly sets high achievers apart from those who only dream of change isn't motivation. It's something far more powerful, discipline. And unlike motivation, discipline doesn't vanish when you feel down. It's solid, practical, and always available. If you've ever caught yourself saying, I just need a little more motivation to start, know that you're trapped in a myth. There's an alternative, a path that doesn't depend on fleeting emotions, but on solid routines. In this video, we'll explore how Stoicism can help you build a system that eliminates the need for motivation, replacing it with something much more effective. Control over your own mind and actions. After all, do you want results? Or do you want to keep waiting for a fleeting feeling? We live in an age where motivation is sold as the solution to all our problems. Social media, motivational talks, and popular movies tell us that everything begins with that click moment, the magical instant when the desire to change seems to explode within us. The promise is tempting. If you find your motivation, you can do anything, but in practice, this idea has left millions of people frustrated, stuck, and feeling inadequate. How many times has a motivational phrase sparked something in you? Something like, you're stronger than you think, or believe in yourself, and nothing will be impossible. For a few moments, these words seem to hold the power to transform your life. But as the euphoria fades, you realize you're still in the same place. The idea that motivation is the secret to success is not only misleading, it can lead to even greater frustrations down the road. The major issue is that motivation, like most emotions, is fleeting. A classic example is New Year's resolutions. On January 1st, millions of people commit to change, starting a diet, going to the gym, launching a business. The first days are filled with energy and enthusiasm, but as routine returns to normal, most of these promises are abandoned before the end of January. This happens because the initial motivation vanishes, leaving people without a structure to support them. Motivation is like a flash of fire. It warms you for a moment, but can't sustain you for long. It's volatile, unpredictable, and beyond your control. The more you try to depend on it, the more unstable your productivity becomes. On social media, we're flooded with inspiring success stories. The entrepreneur who started from scratch, the athlete who overcame all odds, the student who achieved the impossible. They captivate us but conceal the real secret behind these feats, the hard work and tough days that no one sees. So, what's the real element that separates those who achieve from those who only dream? Motivational quotes on Instagram are a perfect example of this problem. They're like candy for the mind, pleasant in the moment, but with no real nutritional value. A quote like, "Never give up on your dreams" might sound powerful, but it doesn't give you the real tools to handle daily challenges. It's an empty promise that makes you believe the problem lies in a lack of motivation when, in reality, what's missing is a practical and consistent system. This cycle of high energy followed by frustration creates an even bigger problem: emotional dependence. When you believe you need to feel motivated to act, you're handing over your power to something completely out of your control. And when motivation doesn't appear, or disappears as quickly as it came, you feel defeated, as if something is wrong with you. This leads to procrastination, self-criticism, and even giving up on important goals. But what if the problem isn't you? What if the failure isn't in your willpower, but in the very idea of relying on motivation? This is the truth most people don't realize. Motivation isn't the starting point, nor should it be. In reality, it's a secondary resource, a bonus that arises as a result of consistent and well-directed actions. Imagine the difference between a storm and a river. The storm is intense and powerful but fleeting. The river, on the other hand, is constant and unwavering. It flows daily, gaining strength over time. Most people live like storms, chasing bursts of motivation, but true success lies in becoming a river, stable and disciplined, independent of external circumstances. Modern culture sells the idea that you need to feel like it before taking action. However, some of the most successful people in the world know this is the path to mediocrity. Professional athletes, entrepreneurs, and high-performance artists don't rely on motivation to do what needs to be done. They create systems, routines, and habits that work even when they're not at their best. A powerful example comes from Stoicism, a philosophy that rejects dependence on volatile emotions. Stoics believe that what matters is what's under our control, our daily actions and choices. For them, motivation is irrelevant because true strength comes from discipline, the ability to do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. It's like a dedicated athlete training before dawn or a committed entrepreneur working overtime to build something greater. They trust their systems, not bursts of inspiration. As we explore how Stoicism can change your relationship with discipline and motivation, remember that you don't have to walk this path alone. With the Modern Stoicism and Practice ebook, you'll have proven strategies to build the consistency that leads to success. The link is in the comments. Grab your copy now. How many times have you stopped taking action because you were waiting to feel ready? And, more importantly, how much time have you wasted in the process? By relying on motivation, you're playing a game of chance, hoping that something unpredictable will push you forward. But there's a better way. One that doesn't depend on fleeting emotions, but instead draws from an inner strength you can build and control. The solution begins with deconstructing this illusion. Motivation is a myth, and it's time to stop depending on it to finally take control of your life. If motivation is fleeting, what truly sustains a productive life? The answer lies in something much more solid: discipline. While motivation is like the wind, unpredictable and inconsistent, discipline is like a strong foundation, deliberately built and capable of withstanding even the toughest days. This is the essence of Stoicism, focusing on what is within your control and eliminating dependence on external factors. Epictetus, one of Stoicism's great masters, said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." For the Stoics, what defines success isn't what we feel, but how we choose to act, regardless of our emotions. Discipline is this deliberate choice. It transforms a good plan into action and action into habit. It's the cornerstone of any significant achievement. Now, you might be wondering, but how can I build discipline if I don't always have the energy or the will to act? The answer starts with a change in perspective. It's necessary to redefine motivation. It shouldn't be the beginning of the journey, but the result of a disciplined system that works even on your worst days. Let's imagine this in practice. Picture the following scenario. You wake up with no desire to get out of bed. The alarm rings, and your mind immediately starts negotiating. Maybe I can sleep for another 10 minutes. Or it's fine if I skip the workout today. On a day like this, relying on motivation would be useless because it simply isn't there. But if you had a predefined routine, a sort of autopilot to follow regardless of how you feel, the result would be completely different. Imagine your morning is already structured. Wake up, do a brief meditation, stretch, have a healthy coffee, and start the day with a prioritized list. This routine doesn't require inspiration. It works because it was designed to. It's like a program installed in your brain, something that just happens even when you don't want it to. This is self-mastery, and it's exactly what the Stoics practice daily. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's greatest thinkers, often reflected on doing what's necessary, even without desire. He wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, 'I have to work, no matter how difficult it feels.'" But how can you apply this level of discipline in the chaos of the modern world? The answer lies in creating systems that function even on the hardest days. Discipline also gives us freedom. It might sound contradictory, but by eliminating chaos and indecision, it creates clarity and confidence. Like a pilot following strict procedures to ensure efficiency, disciplined systems allow you to achieve your goals, regardless of emotional fluctuations. However, building discipline requires practice, patience, and commitment. The first step is identifying what's under your control and what isn't. The Stoics believe that we only have power over our actions and thoughts, nothing more. This means that instead of wasting energy worrying about external factors, you can redirect that focus to creating systems that reinforce your habits. Let's make this practical. Suppose your goal is to improve your physical health. Instead of depending on motivation to hit the gym, you can create a system. Set fixed schedules, prepare your workout clothes the night before, and eliminate distractions that might delay you. These small adjustments make action almost inevitable. Even if you don't feel like it, the system is already set up to work. Another essential aspect of discipline is consistency. Many people give up because they expect immediate results, and when they don't see them, they feel like failures. The Stoics, on the other hand, understood that progress is cumulative. Seneca said, "Without consistency, nothing great can be achieved." With each disciplined action, you strengthen your ability to act independently of motivation. The key to maintaining this consistency is creating an environment that favors your discipline. This means eliminating triggers that sabotage your progress and incorporating habits that reinforce your goals. For example, if you're trying to improve productivity, turning off unnecessary notifications and organizing your workspace might seem like minor details, but make all the difference. They create a space where acting becomes easier than procrastinating. One powerful way to apply this is through reverse planning, a Stoic technique that starts with the end in mind. Imagine where you want to be a year from now. Now, break that goal into smaller steps and ask yourself, what do I need to do today to get closer to this result? This shifts the focus away from fleeting feelings and places it on what matters, your daily actions. Another Stoic practice that can strengthen your discipline is negative visualization. Though it may sound counterintuitive, this exercise involves imagining the challenges and obstacles you might face. For example, if you're working on an important project, visualize potential interruptions or difficulties. This isn't pessimism but preparation. When you anticipate challenges, you're better equipped to face them calmly and determinedly, without relying on a positive emotional state. To transform theory into action, we need a clear, practical, and applicable method. Stoicism, more than an abstract philosophy, is a powerful tool for dealing with daily challenges, especially when the will to act is absent. Let's explore how to apply its principles and practical steps that eliminate dependence on fleeting emotions and create a solid foundation for consistent action. Step 1. Identify what's within your control. The first fundamental teaching of the Stoics is simple but revolutionary. Focus on what you can control. For Epictetus, true freedom begins with recognizing that our emotions, thoughts, and external circumstances are beyond our direct reach. What truly matters are our actions. Imagine a morning when you need to finish an important project. Your alarm goes off, but your mind is already full of excuses. I'm tired. I can't focus today. Most people would waste time debating internally, but the Stoics taught that these thoughts have no power over your actions, unless you allow them to. What you can control is deciding to act, even when the will is absent. To apply this, start distinguishing clearly between what is within your control and what isn't. You can't control the weather, but you can control how you dress for a rainy day. You can't predict all the difficulties in a project, but you can control the effort you put into it. Making this distinction eliminates emotional distractions and keeps you focused on what truly matters. Step 2. Create habit systems that remove emotion-based decisions. Decisions made in the heat of the moment, based on emotions, often lead to impulsive choices or procrastination. The Stoics knew that the best way to avoid this was by creating systems and routines that minimize the need to decide constantly. Think of a high-performance athlete. They don't wake up every day wondering if they feel like training. They have a defined plan, set training times, prepared meals, and clear goals. This system removes any internal debate, making action automatic. Discipline isn't something they seek. It's something they live. You can do the same. For example, if your goal is to improve productivity, start by organizing your day strategically. Set fixed times for important activities and eliminate distractions from your environment. Keep the tools you need close at hand, reduce the need for decision-making, and make the necessary actions as easy as possible. A practical example would be creating a solid morning routine. Instead of depending on motivation to start your day, you can program a sequence of automatic actions. Wake up, stretch, prepare coffee, and plan your priority tasks. This structure works even on days when you're not at your best. Step 3. Use negative visualization to anticipate obstacles. Negative visualization is a powerful Stoic practice that teaches you to anticipate challenges before they happen. By imagining possible obstacles along the way, you not only reduce their emotional impact, but also prepare to face them with calm and effectiveness. Imagine you're preparing for an important presentation. Instead of expecting everything to go perfectly, spend a few minutes visualizing challenging scenarios. Maybe the audience doesn't react as you expect, or you make a technical error. By anticipating these situations, you can plan better, adjust your presentation, and strengthen your confidence. When obstacles arise, they won't catch you off guard. You've already prepared for them mentally. This technique can also be used to combat procrastination. If you know you tend to delay difficult tasks, visualize the consequences of not completing them on time. Think about the accumulated stress, missed opportunities, and feelings of guilt. This practice creates constructive pressure, motivating you to act proactively. Consider the consistency of an elite athlete. Take a professional marathon runner, for instance. They train in sunny weather and storms, when they're excited and when they're exhausted. For them, motivation is irrelevant. What matters is the commitment to the process. This commitment doesn't happen by chance. It's sustained by clear systems, well-defined habits, and the ability to view challenges as part of growth. Similarly, successful entrepreneurs follow rigorous routines to maintain focus on their goals. Elon Musk, for example, divides his day into 5-minute blocks to maximize efficiency. He doesn't wait for inspiration to act. He relies on the power of systems and processes. This approach allows him to keep moving forward, even in high-pressure situations. Now think about how these principles can be applied to your life. If you're trying to achieve a goal, whether it's starting a new business, improving your health, or studying for an important exam, start by identifying the elements within your control. Ask yourself, what can I do right now, regardless of how I feel? Next, eliminate decisions based on mood by creating habit systems. Set a fixed time for every important activity and simplify the process. If your goal is to study, for example, choose a specific location and time each day. Minimize barriers that might distract you. Finally, practice negative visualization. Anticipate the challenges you may face and ask yourself how you can better prepare for them. This not only reduces the impact of problems when they arise, but also gives you an emotional edge. You're prepared, while most people would be paralyzed by surprise. When you begin applying these practices, you'll realize you no longer need motivation to move forward. You'll build a foundation of habits, structure, and mindset that sustains you even on the hardest days. Stoic discipline is more than a philosophical concept. It's a proven practice throughout history, embraced by some of the most resilient and successful minds. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca didn't just theorize about the importance of discipline. They demonstrated how to apply it even in the most adverse situations. This same principle is evident today in leaders, entrepreneurs, and athletes who shape their lives through consistency, not fleeting inspiration. Marcus Aurelius, one of Rome's greatest emperors and a leading figure in Stoicism, governed during a time of monumental challenges, wars, plagues, and political betrayals. Despite this, he maintained an unwavering sense of duty. Marcus knew he couldn't control external circumstances, but he could control his actions and thoughts. In his personal journal, Meditations, he reflected on the importance of acting virtuously, even when the situation seemed unbearable. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not external events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What can we learn from this? Marcus Aurelius didn't rely on being inspired to lead. He followed clear principles of discipline, waking up every day determined to do what was necessary, regardless of how he felt. This commitment to consistent action is a powerful model for all of us. Now think about modern figures who embody this same mindset. A great example is Jeff Bezos, CEO and founder of Amazon. He often emphasizes that the company's success didn't come from moments of motivation, but from deliberate processes. Bezos built a corporate culture where decisions are made based on planning and long-term vision, not emotional peaks. Like the Stoics, he understands that progress is built on small, consistent steps. Another example comes from the world of sports. Olympic athlete Michael Phelps is famous for his rigid and unwavering routine. During his most intense training years, he swam every single day without exception, even on holidays. Even when he wasn't at his best physically or mentally, he knew that each day of training contributed to his larger goal. Phelps didn't depend on feeling motivated. He relied on his system of habits and discipline to ensure progress. These examples are not just admirable. They show that discipline is the real key to achieving sustainable results. But how can you bring this mindset into your own life? The answer lies in identifying areas where you can apply small acts of consistency. Think, for instance, about time management. How often have you procrastinated because you weren't in the mood to start a task? Imagine if, instead, you followed Phelps's or Bezos's example and created a fixed routine where action became inevitable. Perhaps you set a rule that every day at 9 a.m., you tackle your most important task, no matter how you feel. This small commitment to discipline, repeated daily, can transform your productivity. Another practical parallel lies in building healthy habits. If you want to improve your health, you can start with a simple system. Go to the gym or take a walk every morning, regardless of the weather or your mood. Just as Marcus Aurelius faced monumental challenges with calm determination, you can train your mind to overcome smaller obstacles, reinforcing your discipline day by day. Stoicism teaches that true strength comes from within. Whether you're an emperor dealing with crises or someone striving to improve your daily life, the principle remains the same. When you commit to consistent actions guided by discipline and purpose, the results are inevitable. So, looking at these stories, from Marcus Aurelius to Jeff Bezos, from Epictetus to Michael Phelps, ask yourself, what can I do today to act with this same constancy? After all, great achievements don't come from moments of inspiration, but from an unwavering commitment to action. And that is within the reach of anyone willing to begin. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine. The alarm clock rings, the room is still dark, and you feel the weight of sleep trying to pull you back into bed. The cold floor touches your feet as you get up, not because you're inspired, but because you've built a system that guides you, even on tough days. You follow your routine. You smell the aroma of fresh coffee, stretch your tense muscles, and as you check off the first task on your list, you realize something powerful. Even without the desire, you are in control, moving forward one step at a time. Now, imagine what your life would be like if, day after day, you could overcome these barriers. Imagine reaching your goals not because everything conspired in your favor, but because you chose to act regardless of the circumstances. What would it be like to look back a year from now and realize that you were not a hostage to emotions or obstacles? You would be more confident, more productive, more fulfilled. This is the power of discipline. It eliminates uncertainty, replaces doubt with action, and transforms your life into something you truly control. Productivity isn't about feeling like it. It's about who you choose to be, even when you feel nothing. Discipline doesn't imprison you. It frees you. Because in the end, true freedom is the ability to act, even when the world pushes you to stop. Now that you know motivation is a myth, how about starting to build your true freedom? It's time to ditch the excuses and transform your life with the power of discipline. Ready to transform your routine? Click the link in the comments and download the ebook Modern Stoicism in Practice. With it, you eliminate the dependency on motivation by creating consistent habits that work even on the toughest days. This is the ultimate guide to turning theory into action. It teaches you, step by step, how to eliminate the dependency on motivation and build solid habits that work every day, even on the hardest ones. Start your journey toward freedom and complete control over your productivity now. Don't wait for inspiration. Transformation begins now, with one decision: to act. This is the first step to becoming truly productive, someone who controls their own life. If you found this content helpful, subscribe to the channel now and activate the notification bell. This way, you won't miss any videos that can change your mindset. Like this video, and in the comments, share which habit or system you're starting to implement today. Your decision to act now could be the first step to completely transforming your life. To continue this journey, I suggest watching the video that is now appearing on the screen, where we explore how Stoicism can help you handle something essential: the impact that others' opinions have on your decisions. If you want to discover how to live without depending on others' judgments and find more personal freedom, this video is the perfect next step.